We're back on the Lobo Basketball pregame show. It is senior night in the fabulous pit and the final game of the regular season. We have New Mexico head coach of the regular season Mountain West champion Lobos, Richard Pitino. Coach, love saying that. I know you love hearing it. Got a chance to be an outright champ with a win here tonight, but one more congratulations on getting the deal sealed in Reno. Really tough to go on the road and lock it down, and a neat celebration there in your locker room.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we set out to do, is win the Mountain West, and very, very proud of just the mental and physical toughness to be able to start December 4th and really lead all the way through. 7, road wins in conference, I think ties a school record. Obviously, tied a school record, I believe, in conference wins. So many good things. I mean, sitting really good in the NCAA tournament picture. Number 1 seed in the Mountain West tournament, great, but we still got one more game to go, and every win that you get puts you in a better spot, seeding and all those things. So hopefully we can send everybody out the right way. But yeah, absolutely proud of. It's another ring, it's another trophy, it's another banner. Very proud of.
You mentioned that road record tying 7th win in league play, in Mountain West play. That's the hardest part of this thing. Where has the toughness for your team come from?
Well, it's, as I said to him, kind of midway through when we were really stretching the gap there, like everybody wants to act like the race is over, but it really doesn't matter where you're at, middle of the way or 60% of the way. It's how you finish. That really truly defines your season. How do you respond from losing 2 in a row and then come back and get Air Force, which is always a tricky game, go on the road at Nevada to secure the Mountain West championship, all those things. So, I think it starts with what I'm all about mentality wise, which is just living in the present and, not looking ahead or not, just get the most out of today and don't get too high, don't get too low. And, we've got really good players, and they've been really focused the whole way through.
Lobo coach Richard Pitino is with us pregame. New Mexico has UNLV in the pit, the final game of the 24-25 regular season. Something else that's part of the present, a fun part of the present, is that your dad is over there in the Big East doing the same thing in his conference, and you've had a lot of fun watching it unfold, and most recently an appearance on the Tonight Show for them. There's even a shot of the two of you shaking hands as Jimmy Fallon is singing with the Johnnies and your dad. That's gotta make you smile.
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly focused on our program. As I've said before, I really don't care if he wins any games. He doesn't need to do it. What I do like, for anybody who has older parents, he'll get mad at me if I say he's old, but I just want to see him having fun. And that's, when he had talked about there were some job opportunities after Iona, he asked me what I thought of St. John's. St. John's has always been traditionally a pretty tough job in the Big East. I said, listen, you'll have fun. And now for us as coaches, you have fun when you win. That's the bottom line. But he's having a blast right now, so there's no better feeling than seeing your parents enjoying life. So it's been really fun to see.
And it's been an enjoyable season for the Lobos for a second straight campaign. Not only have you been in the conversation for a conference championship, but will you be ranked? These kinds of things hadn't happened here at New Mexico for quite some time. And in year 4, you realized that goal that you stated when you first arrived. You wanted that 20-game regular season championship, and you got it done.
Yeah, very proud of it. Very appreciative of, as I've kind of said the last couple of days, when you win, coaches get a lot of credit. When you lose, coaches get a lot of blame. And I would tell you, it's never always our fault. But it's not always us as coaches. We're only as good as the support that we get. And that's been why we've had success, and I've talked about it. I've never had this consistency at any job that I've been at. And am I doing a good job? Sure, I'm doing a good job. I think your coaching staff does a good job. But this says a lot about New Mexico and the fan support that we get. They're Kurt Ross of the world and his people, the administration, all that. The one thing I've learned as I've done this longer and longer and longer is it's not all on me. And I may get more credit than others, but you're only as good as the support that you get, and we've gotten some great support.
Lobowood coach Richard Pitino with us pregame. New Mexico has UNLV in the pit to wrap up the regular season and a chance at an outright Mountain West championship. Coach, Deon Thomas has been spectacular. He had 25 here in the pit a year ago when they won. He went back and forth with Donovan Dent in the Thomas and Mack earlier this season, had 18 and 7 assists. He won't be there. You've said they look different without him. A lot of dribble drive. What do you see on tape?
I'm assuming you won't be there. I don't know if we're 100% confirmed, but it seems that way. You hate to see that for the kid. Terrific young player. Sometimes I think in the long run, they're not going to be better without him. Now the season is winding down, but he is a dynamic, terrific point guard. I think Donovan Dent would be one. He's either him or Cardenas for 2 or 3. They've gone on a little bit of a run. They've won a couple in a row. They beat obviously San Diego State, Nevada. They've won 6 of 7. They're getting a little bit more balance from other guys, and they're really, really surging at the right time.
And you've singled out Julian Rishwain as an elite three-point shooter that your team has to identify at all times?
Of course, yeah. There's no real trick to it. Just be there, be at his feet, see if you can limit the attempt. He shot a couple late in our game that he missed, and I thought the defense was good. So you just got to be locked in. He's playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Certainly playing with a lot of confidence. How do they get him his looks?
He just runs around, and, with the dribble drive stuff that they do, if you overhelp, they'll pitch it to him, so he's really aggressive.
What other challenges do they pose? Typically a longer and bigger team. The Rebels certainly have that, and sometimes that's given the Lobos problem in the interior.
Yeah, every game is different. So we're 16-3. I don't know if anybody's given us substantial problems. I think they're really good. They're well coached. They're playing well at the right time going into their home arena for conference tournament play. I don't know if their game has any seeding implications for them. But they've got good talent. They're extremely well coached, and they're peaking at the right time.
And finally, it is senior night. You're going to have 4 seniors that you'll present to the Lobo fans, their final regular season home game. And you've got Atiki Ali Tiki, Nelly Jr. Joseph, CJ Nolan, and Mustafa Amsil. Their contributions have been terrific, haven't they?
Yeah, if you look at the 2 newcomers who have obviously only been here a year, and I know Tiki's played a little bit of spot minutes, but we've needed him at moments. Nelly's had a phenomenal year, but you need that backup center to come off the bench and provide great energy. He's been a terrific addition to the locker room. He's a great kid. CJ, so very lucky to have coached him for a year. He's a terrific person, great in the locker room, a phenomenal leader. And he's made some big plays offensively and defensively, made some huge free throws on the road to secure a Mountain West championship. And then obviously Mustafa Amzil and Nelly, both of those guys coming in here and, I would assume back-to-back NCAA tournament appearances, 2 championships, who knows what happens in Vegas. We're not able to do that with those 2 guys. So, very, very appreciative of them. All 4 of them are high character guys. They will get a glowing recommendation from me to pro scouts and beyond. Also grateful for the 3 managers that we've had, Nolan, Nate, and Logan. Those 3 guys have been just terrific behind the scenes. So as I said before, we've had great success last couple of years, but we do not get it without the support, players, their families, their people around them, and obviously great managers to go along with it.
Coach, it's been a great ride this season. Plenty more to come. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
Lobowood coach Richard Pitino, our guest pregame, New Mexico and UNLV, coming up on the UNM Sports Radio Network.
We're back inside the pit post-game. New Mexico 81, UNLV 67 is the final. The post-game show presented all season long by a great partner, Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino. Winning entertainment including simulcast racing, live music, dining, the best games, and more. That's the Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino. The championship hats, the championship shirts are out. The Lobos on the Shield logo at center court here. The confetti is flying in the famous pit. 15,411. The sellout crowd has remained to enjoy their first net cutting celebration in the pit in 12 years. How sweet it is. That is absolutely awesome, Hunter. Wow. Make it rain. That's awesome. So
happy for these guys, man. I mean, I'll be the first to say I doubted that they would be able to return this strong after losing Mashburn and JT Toppin. I mean, and wow, did Nelly come back stronger and better than ever. And of course, Dent. Can't say enough about Donovan Dent, the league's MVP.
There's no question. He will be the player of the year in the Mountain West Conference. Nelly Jr. Joseph will be the first team all-league center. The Lobos just might have the sixth man of the year in C.J. Nolan. And, you know, they award recognition to multiple teams, right? First team, second team, third team. Honorable mention. The Lobos will finish the campaign with 4 players in double figures in scoring. In Dent, Joseph, Amsiel, and Washington. There might be some all-Mountain West recognition coming for that entire group.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's deserving. I mean, the guy's 17 wins.
First time the Lobos have ever reached that threshold. 17 conference wins, 17-3 is the final record in league. Donovan Dent in the middle of the court with his head coach, Richard Pitino, holding up the Mountain West Championship trophy, a regular season trophy for the first time since the 2012-2013 season when Steve Alford led the Lobos to that championship. How sweet it was back on Tuesday, secure at least a share of that trophy for the first time by beating the old head coach in his own building in Reno. The Lawler Event Center. Lobos took down Coach Alford and the Nevada Wolfpack. 81-67 is our final score. The Lobos posing with the trophy for a photograph to celebrate their 2025 Mountain West regular season championship. This is exactly how you wanted to celebrate here tonight.
Yeah, it is. And I'm so happy for the fans. They deserve this. You know, they hang in there. They show up every home game. And what a way to celebrate here at home in the pit.
And everything has continued to ramp up, right? Remember the incredible 14-game start a couple of years ago when the Lobos were unbeaten, and they actually finished non-conference play with a perfect record. That was the team led by Udeze and House and Mashburn, and Alec was part of that group. And Donovan Dent was a true freshman coming off the bench. Well, that team didn't get to do any of this. The conference schedule proved too much for that team, despite the fact that at one point they were ranked.
Yeah.
Then last year, after the things that had been done the previous season, Morris Udeze moves on, and the Lobos bring in a couple of new bigs, and Nelly Jr. Joseph and Mustafa Amsiel, and they get an incredible freshman by the name of JT Toppin, and they do something that hadn't been done since 2014. That's win a conference tournament championship. Something that had never been done in the league. They won 4 games in 4 days in Vegas to do it. And that was the first trophy the Lobos enjoyed of any kind in a decade.
Yeah.
That team sold out the pit 3 times. This year's team sold out the pit 4 times. This year's team, in the first ever 20-game regular season in the Mountain West. There's never been that before. This is the first season of the 20-game schedule in the Mountain West. The Lobos go 17-3 to set an unprecedented record for conference wins in program history with 17, eclipsing the old mark by 2. The net cutting has begun. Mustafa Amsiel, one of the 4 seniors here tonight. He has the scissors out. He has a strand of the net in his left hand. The fans are standing.
And they're not standing. The students are running on the floor.
The students are coming to the floor. Yeah. Everyone else is standing in their seats, in front of their seats.
What a celebration. Everyone's chanting, "True!"
Drew Washington next to climb the ladder. Drew Washington has his piece of history. He works his way back down the ladder. Who's next to climb the ladder? As the Lobos cut down the nets in the pit for the first time in a dozen years. It's Filip Borovičanin, the Arizona transfer.
Cutting down nets.
Phil, the native Serbian. Nelly Jr. Joseph's turn. The best big in the Mountain West Conference. Holds a piece of the net aloft. How sweet is this? What a night in the pit. Who's next? It's Ibrahima Sakho, the Georgia Tech transfer. Sakho will get his slice of history. The Lobos shoot 53% from the floor for the game. They don't even need the 3-ball tonight, Hunter. They make 3 of 10. Remember, they made 9 of them to beat Nevada back on Tuesday. Now, Jovan Milicevic, the fabulous freshman from Canada of Serbian descent, speaks fluent Serbian. He and Borovičanin have commiserated this year. His heritage, Milicevic is a Serbian. Now C.J. Nolan, one of the 4 seniors, honored pregame tonight, climbing to the top step to get his slice of the net. The Lobos, 16 of 27 from the foul line, 59% free throw shooting. It didn't matter.
You guys do a great job. You do a great job too, man.
Wow. UNLV, 69% free throw shooting, 11 of 16. There's Braden Applehans, one of the fan favorites. He's got his piece of history. Now the freshman, Daniel Thomas, redshirting this season. Talk about working that hard, Hunter, without getting a chance to play in a game. Daniel Thomas, so important on the practice court, isn't he?
Oh, on the practice. I mean, he's gone through every step, right? Practice, warm-ups. He does it all. But he'll get his chance. He'll get an opportunity.
Cade Dotson. He has contributed. The true freshman point guard. Cuts off a piece of the net. And now another fan favorite. Quentin Webb.
Quentin Webb.
Third-year Lobo. Gets his slice. Lobos hold the Rebels to 45% floor and 6 of 20 from 3. That's 30%. Turned over UNLV 16 times. Beat him in points off turnovers 22-10. Dylan Chavez, the local product from Del Norte High. The walk-on. And now one of our 4 seniors honored pregame tonight. It's Atiki Ali Atiki.
Does he really need a ladder? Those long arms.
The BYU transfer from Tanzania. You know there'll be some minutes in Vegas next week where Atiki's going to have to step up big. Third on the Lobos during the regular season in blocked shots. Daraje Agbausi, another local product. Went to El Dorado High School.
Walk on,
working his way back from shoulder surgery. He is a senior, but he's not yet ready to graduate, so did not take part in the senior ceremony pregame tonight. Didn't want to until it was time. And here comes the champ. MVP. Donovan Dent. Takes a piece of the net.
Class act.
Third-year Lobo and a true all-time great, right, Hunter?
Oh, he is. It's just a class act. You know, he's not very vocal. He's just a different type of leadership. And look who gets up there. President Stokes going up the ladder.
Garnett Stokes, the president of the University of New Mexico, climbs the ladder. And I do want to correct something. Dylan Chavez did not go to Del Norte. That's correct. He went to La Cueva High School. No, thank you. No, always catch me, Hunt. Thank you. Now Isaac Chu, assistant coach for the University of New Mexico. And how about the honor that he received tonight from Nelly Jr. Joseph, being the guy that Nelly
walked him out.
Wanted to walk him out when he received his jersey in the ceremony pregame on senior night.
Well, that's pretty special. Coach
Dave Pilipovich.
Pilipovich out there.
He's getting a chance to cut down the net.
You know, I don't think the assistant coaches get enough credit. But, man, they have to do all the little things, you know, that create these guys, to help these guys become young men, right? Getting to places on time and, I mean, all the little things.
Tarvis Felton taking his piece of the twine. The pit floor is now full, by the way. Here's AK Aaron Katsuma, a young coach that Coach Pitino brought here.
Yep.
A rising star in the coaching ranks. Assistant coach for the University of New Mexico. Now the founder of the collective 505 Sports Venture Foundation, Kurt Roth, gets a chance to cut off a piece of the net. And that is richly deserved.
Pretty awesome.
Doesn't happen without 505 SVF.
And I tell you what, Kurt stepped out, took a risk before any of these other schools in our conference to form the collective.
He knew it had to be done, Hunter.
Had to be.
Now Danny Walters, assistant coach and video coordinator, taking his piece of the net. Congratulations to all of these guys.
Coach Pitino. Cutting down nets.
What a hand for Lobo. Fourth-year head coach Richard Pitino holding the net aloft. New Mexico has a Mountain West regular season championship in 2025, their first in a dozen years. For a second straight season, Coach Pitino brings a trophy to Albuquerque. A tournament title a year ago, and now the coveted regular season title that he said he would bring when he first arrived on campus 4 years ago. Fantastic night in the pit. Let's take a post-game timeout. When we come back on the other side, we're going to hear from Lobo head coach Richard Pitino. We hope to get a star of the game. The Lobos are the 2025 Mountain West regular season champions. New Mexico 81 and UNLV 67 is the final. Stay with us. More to come from Bob King Court, University Arena, the fabulous pit on the UNM Sports Radio Network. Back in the famous pit, courtside postgame, 81-67 is the final score. The Lobos knock off the visiting UNLV Runnin' Rebels. It's the Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino postgame show, winning entertainment, including horse racing, live music, dining, the best games, and more. It's the Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino. Alongside Hunter Green, I'm Robert Portnoy. The Lobos sweep UNLV for the first time since 2018 to wrap up their first outright regular season Mountain West championship since the 2013 trophy was won by Coach Alford's Lobos. Coach Pitino's Lobos have an identity, Hunter, and it is so much fun to watch when it is working, and they did it all here tonight. They turned over UNLV 16 times. They spit it out to 22 points off of those turnovers, 17 of them in the fast break. New Mexico's defense to offense formula has been something that has literally been unstoppable this year, and it has taken them to a Mountain West regular season championship, and it's richly deserved.
Yeah. I mean, I think this game was similar to how they won in UNLV. Again, it was the Dent and Nelly Jr. Joseph show, scoring most of the points for the team and 46 of the 81 points, right? Yeah, I mean, this team is special, like you said, in terms of playing the style of basketball that they wanted to play and ending the way they wanted it to end. Regular season champs.
Lobos, 53% floor, 31 of 58. 3 of 10 arc, 30%. 16 of 27, 59% from the foul line. Rebels, 45% field goal shooting, 25 of 56. They go 6 of 20 at the arc, that's 30%, and 11 of 16 at the foul line for 69%. UNLV turned it over 16 times. The Lobos, 8. UNM wins points off turnovers, 22-10. Rebounding battle, 35-30. UNM wins it. Offensive boards 10-7. The Lobos 11-7 second chance points. Advantage for New Mexico. 12-5 bench points goes UNLV's way. Paint points, how about New Mexico's dominance there, Hunter? 56-36 in paint points and 17-10 in fast break points. They block 5 shots to the Rebels 3, steal it 9 times to the Rebels 5, and assist 18 times on 31 makes the Rebels. It was one-on-one all night, wasn't it? Just 9 assists on 25 field goals. They are certainly a dribble drive ISO kind of team.
And we knew they would do that. I mean, I was the scout on them. Coach Patino talked about, them going off to dribble one-on-one. And in the first half, I thought the Lobos at times had some challenges defending that. But in the second half, they turned it around, and they were able to stop them from getting to the rim.
Individual numbers, Donovan Dent with a brilliant effort, 20 points, 6 assists, reaching the 600-point, 200-assist threshold. Just the second Lobo ever to do that, and the first ever in the regular season. Nelly Jr. Joseph with 26 points and 16 rebounds was absolutely unbelievable. Nelly is now in the top 5 in single-season rebounds in Lobo history. He's now in the top 10 in Lobo history in career rebounds off this performance here tonight. Joseph, 13 of 19 from the floor. He also had 4 assists, and he felt like he had 20 dunks, but it was probably about 4 of them. Just amazing off those dribble handoffs and ball screens. Drew Washington with 19 points. The Lobos are now 18-0 when he scores in double figures. Washington with 4 boards and 2 assists goes 5 of 8 floor, 1 of 3 from the arc. And how about 8 of 12 at the foul line for Drew? He was very aggressive, driving it to the rim and drawing contact. 6 points for Amsil with 7 rebounds and 3 assists for Stop in his final regular season home game in the Pit. 5 points for Filip Borovichinen, 4 rebounds and 3 assists for Phil in 29 minutes. The Lobos got 3 points from Jovan Milicevic at corner 3. CJ Nolan on his senior night with 2 points in 25 minutes of court time. Lobos win at 81-67 over the Rebels. Do want to send our wishes out, and hopefully it's not serious. The knee brace for Julian Rishwain. Really sorry to see him go down in the first half.
Yeah, you hate to see that.
He was off to a fantastic start in this game. He was
perfect.
3 of 3.
Yeah, perfect from the field, perfect from the free throw line.
From the three-point arc. 8 points in all in just 6 minutes. And then he slipped right in front of us here, in front of us at the scorer's table, just across the timeline. Non-contact injury, looked like to the left knee. We wish him well and a speedy recovery. We still plan to get Lobo head coach Richard Pitino before we're finished tonight. And we hopefully will get a Lobo star of the game as well. Donovan Dent has made his way back down to the floor. Dent, the spectacular, presumptive Mountain West Player of the Year, wearing the piece of the net that he cut on the back of the conference championship hat that's on his head. All of those accolades richly deserved. This team is special. Absolutely special. And New Mexico, for a second straight season, enjoying a trophy celebration. This one in the Pit. Last year's was in the Thomas and Mack Center. This hasn't happened here since 2013.
That's what I'm saying. This is the fans. They deserve this, right? To celebrate in the Pit. They always show up. And I'm just so happy for the fans out here.
See you guys in Vegas.
All right. We'll see you in Vegas.
All right, let's take a bonus network break. This will be an overtime break. We're going to do that here post-game as we hope to get Coach Pitino following the conclusion of tonight's contest. Of course, he was on court for the net cutting ceremony and in amongst the fans. It looks like we're going to get C.J. Nolan first. So we'll do that before we take this break. C.J. Nolan, one of our great seniors who was honored here tonight on the Pit Court pregame. Mom and Dad are here, C.J., and tell us about the emotions for you tonight. This obviously is a huge win, but start with pregame and what it meant to you.
Well, yeah, I mean, throughout the whole game, I think my emotions are all over the place just because of the pregame and the ceremony. It was really, really good to see that. Really, really good to see the guys, like that, and the seniors. And Yeah, I mean, they were just all over the game. I really wanted to win the game, so, I mean, I wasn't really thinking too much about it during the game. But, yeah, it was really fun.
CJ, I watched you this evening and not really contribute a lot offensively.
For sure.
But you brought the energy. You matched the energy. And we saw you go head-to-head with Hill. What were you guys talking about?
Nah, just a little friendly trash talk. That's my boy. That's my boy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my boy.
But you were matching his energy. And I thought in the second half that really made the difference for your team.
Yes, sir. I think so, too. I mean, we come out sometimes and we get kind of flat and kind of stagnant. But once we match that energy on once we match that defense on, or match that energy in defense, then I think we're a whole nother ball team for sure.
That's been the signature, the calling card of this team. And it was there at the start of the first half, and then there was a little lull. But you guys brought it in the second half when you scored 12 in a row, I think it was.
Yeah.
What changed? What did you guys do differently?
I think we just got into the game more. I think we just kind of settled it in, got with the crowd, got into the game a little bit more. And, I mean, ultimately confidence was high because there was a lot of people in here. It was a really big game. So, I mean, people's confidence was high and people wanted to do good in front of this crowd. So, for sure.
Have you taken a look at this shirt that you're wearing?
Yes, I have. I looked at it about 20 different times on everybody's shirt. Just keep staring at it.
How's that sound? 2025 Mountain West regular season champions.
It sounds amazing. God bless because, that's the reason why we're here. But, man, it's an amazing feeling.
You get to do that in front of your family.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Amazing feeling.
What does it mean to have your mom, Nicole, and your dad, Belvis, who is a tremendous player, collegiately and professionally himself, and they mean everything to you, I know. We talked about it even before the season started, to have them here tonight for this.
For sure. I mean, it means the world to me. I mean, they make a lot of games. They travel. They miss work for me. So, I mean, it means the world to me. I really thank them for that. They're really good parents. And, man, I just can't wait to keep making them proud.
The celebration tonight. We saw what happened in Reno.
Yeah.
And is this on the left cheek?
No.
Is that from the water bottle?
No. That's from the game. No.
Okay.
No. Nothing happened with the water bottle. The water bottle was good. Yeah. That's hilarious.
Oh man, it looked like True took some friendly fire early, and then he fired back.
If you watch, you see Dan in the background laughing because he's the one who threw the first water bottle. Yeah, you see him in the back laughing. But it's fun times.
We got the explanation, but I bet the celebration tonight's going to be even better.
Yeah, for sure. Just celebrate with the teams, and just have a good time for sure. Celebrate this amazing season.
Congratulations, man. It has been just awesome having you here at the University of New Mexico, and I know that the work's not done.
Yes, sir.
But this could be your final game on this court, and it likely will be.
Yes, sir.
What has it meant to you to play in front of a fan base like this and be a part of a championship for these folks who haven't celebrated on this court in 12 years?
Yeah, it means everything. I mean, I haven't been here before. Like you said, they haven't had a championship in 12 years. So, I mean, I'm glad that my senior year, I was glad to bring it back to Albuquerque because, I mean, it was needed for sure.
I feel like your efforts off the bench and you stepping up to say, look, Coach, I'll play off the bench.
For sure.
If that means we're going to win a championship.
Yes, sir.
And so you set the tone early on in this season for this team to be where they are today.
Yes, sir.
Huge part that you played.
Thank you.
Huge part.
Coach told us that story. I thought that it was a testament to your character.
Yes, sir.
Because he said, and this is the way he describes the story, after he had put you in the starting lineup, and then he was going to tell you that I think I'm going to move you back to the bench, you cut him off.
Yeah.
And you said, whatever you need. Where does that come from?
I mean, it just comes from really my father telling me, whenever you're in the game, just make a difference, and just whenever the coach puts you in, that's the coach's decision. You're a player. You play, so when you get in the game, you play. You don't worry about what the coach has going on and what he's thinking. So, I mean, that's what I tried to do. I mean, I knew ultimately that was the right way to think, and it paid off for sure. Yes, sir.
Well, you have represented the Cherry and Silver like a champion, and now you are one.
Yes, sir.
And let's go get another one in Vegas next week.
Appreciate y'all.
CJ Nolan, our guest here post-game. One of the four seniors celebrated before the contest here tonight on the pit floor. It's an awesome human being right there. And
no, really, I meant it. I mean, his maturity and the way he approached the game in this season really set the tone for this team. Because a lot of guys know, like, CJ should be starting. He's our captain. Wait, they made him a captain coming off the bench. That sets the tone for a winning program, and CJ's a big part of that.
Right now, he's signing an autograph for a fan, celebratory fist bump
from Snake. Kurt Roth, the founder of the 505 Sports Venture Foundation, the New Mexico Collective, the official collective for the University of New Mexico Athletic Department. He is not going to light that cigar up inside the pit.
He can't.
But eventually he will.
Oh,
He's got it in his mouth, and he cannot wait to turn that up, I know. This is really something, and that speaks to, talking about Kurt, the collective effort that's required to make this happen.
Right. All those people that wrote checks, made contributions, they're part of this. They created this. Because without them, you don't have Nelly Jr. Joseph. You don't have Donovan Dent, right? Those guys could have taken off just like Toppin. So, shout out to all of the folks that stepped up and contribute to the collective, because that's huge.
Okay, we're going to take that bonus timeout, and hopefully we'll get to talk with Coach Patino before we wrap up. We'll definitely get you to Lobos Live here shortly, but we would love to hear Coach Patino's thoughts after this massive win in the pit and the first net-cutting celebration in a dozen years at University Arena. Okay, final score, Lobos 81, Rebels 67. We break briefly. We come back with Coach Patino next on the UNM Sports Radio Network. Back on the Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino post-game show. Winning entertainment, including simulcast racing, live music, dining, the best games and more. It's the Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino. Alongside broadcast partner Hunter Green, I'm Robert Portnoy. We're joined courtside post-game after an 81-67 win over UNLV by New Mexico head coach Richard Pitino. Coach Pitino, congratulations. You wanted to finish it off right tonight in the pit, and you did that. This is the first net cutting in this building in a dozen years. Way to go.
We wanted to certainly take advantage of doing it in this building, in front of one of the best fan bases in college basketball. To be able to do this kind of wire-to-wire, very, very proud of our guys. Nelly was phenomenal. Donovan really picked it up in the end. And our defense in the second half was way, way better. So, yeah, I mean, that's 2 championships in a row here. Really, really proud of them. We'll give them a couple days off, enjoy this, and then we'll get back to work on Monday.
You said it, Coach. I thought it was a defense in the second half that kind of separated you guys from UNLV. And it was really, I thought, CJ Nolan off the bench, bringing the energy, matching the energy defensively.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a great game for Phillip laterally. They were really going off the bounce. So we went with CJ. I thought he really, really helped. True obviously was very good defensively. But yeah, we obviously started the game not guarding. I was very frustrated, but the defense got better as the game went on.
Coach, that 12-point spurt in the second half when you guys took control and pushed the lead out to double digits. It was a 1-point game, and you scored 12 in a row to make it a 13-point edge. What was the difference in that moment?
Stops and rebounds, and then True picked it up, made some great plays, but more than anything, we just had to clamp down the defense. We certainly were not really, really good at that. But second half, we thought that conditioning would be a factor. Now, we didn't know Rich Wayne would get hurt and all that, but we felt like we had the depth.
Yeah, the defense, I thought, created the offense in the second half. And you guys go on those second half 10-0 runs, right? And it's all from the defensive end.
Defensive end, plus this building. You get this going, plus the way that we were playing. All phenomenal stuff.
They're big. Obviously, Bear Cherry is huge. And then Njai is 7 feet. And Nelly absolutely took over the game in the first half offensively for you, and he got them both in foul trouble right out of the gate. It was so amazing.
Yeah, Bear Cherry's a really good player, and
good hands.
Long, yeah. And Nelly didn't do a better job. We said, Nelly, you're not in foul trouble. Foul him. He's not a good free throw shooter. But yes, they're very talented. They just beat San Diego State. They obviously just beat Nevada. We were worried about that game. We really were. I was worried about the pressure of all this, and we handled it well.
The emotions.
Yeah.
I wonder how come UNLV or teams choose not to double down on Nelly.
Well, what they do something different. They double from the baseline. We prepared for it.
Gotcha.
Told Nelly, do not go baseline. So we were ready to go for it.
And it looked like it worked to the tune of about 3 or 4 dunks on a similar action where Nelly was just running free to the rim and doing a chin-up.
Donovan had a lot to do with that, and some kind of get actions, what we call, because they down ball screens. We were able to throw it, come back off a handoff. Donovan found Nelly, did some great things.
And True Washington, you love to see when he has a game like this. And, Coach, it's amazing. 19 points for True. You guys are 18-0 when he gets to double figures. It's so important to get contributions from the true sophomore.
Yeah, he's starting to progress in that offensive side of it, especially with Phillips not scoring. CJ didn't score much this game. True was a huge bright spot offensively for us, made some big plays.
It's a great time to ask. I've asked probably a couple times over the course of the year, but now that he is clearly the best center in the conference, why is Nelly Jr. Joseph such a dominant rebounder? That's 8 times he's hit 15 rebounds in a game this year.
I mean, honestly, we were able to keep him on the court. A lot of big guys get in foul trouble. They get tired. Nelly's conditioning was really good. He played 39 minutes. Yeah. So, availability, as a lot of these big guys just can't hang in there. They get in foul trouble. They get tired. He certainly was great at it.
What a way to send these 4 seniors off in their final regular season home game, too.
Special to do. That's why they came here, right? That's why I came here. To do it in front of these fans is amazing.
Congratulations, Coach. We can't wait for next week. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Coach Patino holding his piece of the net, too. He joins us courtside here post-game in the pit. How cool is that? What a fun way to finish off the home schedule in the pit. Look at the court. Look at the confetti. And 4 more years from the fans. They want Coach to hang around.
Yeah, 4 more years.
Coach Patino signing some T-shirts.
I think about how many teams wrote that on their wax board to be conference champions back in October, November, right? The Lobos did it.
New Mexico Aging Services, your one-stop shop for connection, resources, and advocacy. Visit aging.nm.gov to learn more. Well, we know exactly what's going to happen for UNM next week when they go to the Mountain West Conference Tournament. The Lobos are the 1 seed, and that means for the first time since that 2013 tournament, the Lobos have top billing. And that means that they play in that first game on Thursday. It's the noon Pacific slot. Don't have to worry about the game before you going long. You get the most rest of anybody before you play the next day. It's a 1 p.m. tip Mountain Time, so our airtime will be 12:30 p.m. Mountain Time with the Lobo basketball pregame show. New Mexico will face the winner of the 8-9 game between San Jose State and Wyoming, and that is on Thursday of next week, March the 13th. In the quarterfinal round of the Mountain West Tournament, the Lobos get their first bye in the Mountain West Tournament since 2018. That's back Coach Weir's first season. So that's pretty cool, huh?
You like those buys?
Heck yeah.
Because, we know how difficult it is to win 4 in a row. Lobos did it last year, but I tell you, that's not an easy task. In fact, I don't think it's ever been done in the Mountain West era, right? 26 years. So, no. Have the night off on Wednesday, come back Thursday, fresh legs, and you got, like you said, an early tip.
Yeah, no, exactly right. The Lobos' unprecedented 4-game run to the title last year was unique, and you would much prefer not have to play on that first day.
That's right.
Yeah. Christian Armijo has done stats for us tonight. Keelina Scala is our producer and engineer in our studio. My broadcast partner is Hunter Green. I'm Robert Portnoy. Lobos Live with host Brandon Ortega and Lobo All-Timer Kenny Thomas coming up next on our flagship here in Albuquerque. 96.3 News Radio KKOB. That'll do it for us from the pit for the final time in the 24-25 regular season. This has been an amazing year, Hunter.
It has. It's been fun, right? Winning is fun.
Absolutely. And there's nothing better than playing this number of games, right? When you get to the finish line, and the Lobos are now 25-6.
That's right, 25 wins. Yeah.
17-3 in conference, and they have a trophy to put in the case. After 30 plus, that's pretty cool.
New Mexico has a trophy. This community has a trophy. It's huge.
This is for all of Lobo Nation.
It is.
And Lobo Nation helps make it happen with what it does in this pit.
Oh, and Lobo Nation's beyond the state of New Mexico. I've got 5 text messages from former players. Hey, they're all proud, right? I mean, that's what it's all about.
How cool is this? Okay, Lobos Live next. Your calls. That'll do it for us. New Mexico is a 2025 Mountain West regular season outright champion. Hadn't happened in 12 years. Congratulations to all of Lobo Nation. Final score for the final time. Lobos 81, UNLV 67. We'll talk to you from Vegas next week. So long, everybody, and go Lobos.
Fernando Lobo is on the show. Lobo's Live with Kenny Thomas. Fernando, thank you so much for making some time amidst the celebration on this beautiful Friday night. How you feeling?
Thanks, KT. Thanks, Brandon, for having me. If my voice is a little raspy, it's because I was screaming my tail off there at the end of the game. But what a night for the Lobos, what a night for this institution, and what an amazing night for the state of New Mexico. So it's a great time to be a Lobo, and it feels really damn good to be champions. So sir, thanks for having me on.
Man, sir, thank you so much for getting on. I really appreciate you. How has Lobo Nation been treating you since you've been in New Mexico? We got to put that out there, man. And I'm going to ask you the question about red or green.
Hey, I appreciate you asking the question, KT. I can now say that I've been here for 3 months. I'm a bit partial to green, but I'm not fully committed yet. So I still dabble a little bit Christmas, but I think I'm leaning a bit to green right now. But no, it's been great. It's been 3 months, and it's been an absolute pleasure and joy, and just a blessing to be able to serve Lobo Nation. I mean, we've got some incredible coaches, some amazing student athletes, and just this city, this community, this state. They love their Lobos, and to have the opportunity to lead this department and serve our student athletes and coaches is a dream come true.
UNM Athletic Director Fernando Lobo on the program right now. Fernando, you were here for about 5 minutes, and then you got busy looking for a new football coach and bringing in Jason Eck, who fans are really excited about, and he's getting after it, getting ready for spring ball. Since that was over and the football stuff really settled down, what's it been like enjoying this basketball season? This is a basketball state. Albuquerque is a basketball town. What's it been like for you the last few months enjoying this up to now an outright conference championship?
Yeah, no, it's been amazing. I go back to my first night here in Albuquerque after my press conference, and unfortunately my family's not here yet. They're still in Austin. But I remember, I think this might be the best way to summarize the impact that UNM basketball has on this community. Is my son's a 5-year-old basketball fanatic. In fact, he was quite upset he couldn't stay up and watch the Lobos play tonight. But
that's awesome.
I took my son on the court, and someone snapped a photo, and his mouth was just wide open in awe. And I will tell you, although my mouth wasn't wide open, that's how I feel. I'm just in complete awe of this venue, of just the frenzy of Lobo Nation when it comes to basketball. And look, everybody loves a winner, and obviously what Richard's done, and the players that he's recruited and his staff. I mean, it's an exciting brand of basketball. They play the right way. They're great young men. And so it's just, you can really feel just kind of everything coming together. And obviously the culmination of that was tonight, and the confetti flying and down the nets and all of that. I mean, you just can't quantify what that means for Lobo Nation and really for this state. Being the flagship institution of the state, we take a lot of pride in that. And you talk about 3 hours of just love and admiration for Lobo basketball. That's what we got, and we're just I'm so thankful and honored to be able to be part of it.
Hey, Lobo Nation, we got to take care of our AD, so you see him around town, give him love. What's the biggest difference coming from your old school, the University of Texas, opposed to the men's basketball program now?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, obviously, at the University of Texas, I mean, I was fortunate to work with Chris Beard and Rodney Terry, two amazing coaches, and, we opened a new arena, and we had some exciting moments. I think what I've noticed here is just, when you walk through the doors of the pit, right, you feel it, right? You feel the tradition, you feel the history, you feel just everything, the legends like yourself, KT, that have been in this building and just created just so many amazing memories. I mean, you just can't explain it. I mean, just looking in the crowd, and I saw tonight people in tears, hugging each other, high-fiving. I mean, that's what sports are all about, right? And that's the beauty of Lobo basketball, and that's just the beauty of athletics in general. And so to have that amount of impact and the ability to have that impact on this community and this state is really just special.
Fernando Lobo, UNM Athletic Director, on the program right now. Fernando, I got one more for you, and this is a big topic that continues to evolve. When NIL first started out here in Albuquerque, it was nuts. It was wild, and no one really knew exactly what to do and how to do it together. And I feel like 505 Sports Ventures has really come a long way to where they are now, and the impact they've had on basketball has been huge. For you, what's your vision of how the athletic program and 505 Sports Ventures are going to continue to work together moving forward?
Yeah, it's absolutely critical, right? And I know much credit to Kurt Roth and Jalen Dominguez on my staff, and just obviously Eddie Nunez and Dave Williams that were here before me and laid such a great foundation for success. I mean, I think the acknowledgement early on that this was going to have to be, you know, a competitive advantage for us was very smart, and the proof is what we saw tonight. You know, we chose to make a commitment to that and chose to make it a priority, and you know, Kurt and others in this community have stepped up big time to support that initiative, you know. And so obviously, you know, the house settlement and revenue sharing and all these things that we read about day in and day out, you know, that's coming. And I think for when I look at it, you know, I feel a sense of confidence that we've been able to, you know, separate ourselves and differentiate ourselves in terms of what we're able to provide our student athletes. And, you know, certainly we're going to continue to push the envelope. Someone once told me, you know, envelopes are made with edges, and I believe that. You're trying to push them. You know, we've got to keep growing. We got to keep investing in our student athletes, investing in our program, so that we can continue to win championships. And that's the ultimate goal. And I know Richard feels the same way, and we all feel the same way across the department. So a ton of credit and a huge shout out to Kurt and 505 and really the whole community as a whole. They've stepped up. They love this program. They love this institution. And I hope everybody that was in this building tonight felt a shared sense of pride and investment, because it's taken so many folks that have stepped up to allow us to get to this point. But the mission's not done. Obviously, we're headed to Vegas. I'm excited to get out there and experience, I think, the Pit West is what I believe it's called. I'm excited to go see that and get it turned up in there, and hopefully chase another championship, and then whatever the futures holds, I'm excited for that as well. So great night tonight, amazing night for Lobo Nation, but I know Richard would echo this, that the mission's not complete, we're just getting started.
Man is calling.
Yeah, we talked about 505 Sports Ventures with Fernando Lovo in the first segment, and we talk about them a lot. They've been a big part of helping Lobo basketball get to where they are this season. And I heard tonight, Kurt, that you got to cut the nets. Take us there real quick, Kurt Roth. How was it to cut the nets at the Pit tonight?
That was cool. You know, that's not my thing, but Richard wanted me to go up and cut a piece, and I did it. You know, it was a blast. It's all part of just a great, like Rudy said, that gym is a special place. You know, I got in there the first time in 1973, and that what happened tonight was kind of just right in line with my vision when I started this. I wanted that to happen again. I believed it could. I believed in Richard Pitino, and I was just, you know, the icing on the cake. It was just a great, great experience.
Kurt, you know you're my man. I gotta lead into this because you finished with Pitino. Tell the folks out there, what do we got to do to keep him here? What's going on from that perspective?
Well, we're right in the middle of it, and you talked about Fern Lovo. He is, you know, doing what he can with the resources he can. There's a real good deal out there, and to get Richard to stay, you know, it's one of those things that I think Richard Pitino really enjoys it here. He's happy. Obviously, look what happened in 4 years. He went from 5-6 wins in the league to now a dominant season. I think we're going to have to wait a week or two, find out. You know, guys are getting fired left and right. People may come with huge offers, but right now we're in a good position. And that goes back to Fern Lovo. He has really turned the dial up. He's come in, you know, out of nowhere. First he had to hire a football coach. He's doing everything he can with the resources he has. I also want to mention Jalen Dominguez at the Lobo Club.
Amazing.
He's, you know, really part of the whole movement that's going on behind the scenes. Up in Santa Fe, Fern is there almost every day. He's doing what he has to do. So, hey, we're all optimistic that it's going to continue, and the next couple of weeks are going to be really key, not only for our coach, but for retaining our core. And I think we're in a good position to do that. Now, I'm calling on everyone out there, no matter where they are, 505sports.org. Don't wait for we're not waiting for Bill Gates to write a check. It's everyone who's in that gym. You can kick in $5-10.
Yeah.
It makes a major, major difference.
Kurt Roth, 505 Sports Ventures with us. He got to cut the nets tonight at the Pit, celebrating the Lobos' outright Mountain West Championship for the first time in 12 years. Kurt, we were talking with Fern Lovo about this in the first segment, and he wasn't here when the NIL, at least in New Mexico, when the NIL stuff was first beginning, and it's come such a long way, 505 Sports Ventures. What is the next step for 505 Sports Ventures? And yet you did mention how people can help, but what is the next step in your eyes?
Well, the next step is we're going to see. No one knows what this house settlement's going to be. No one really knows. They're assuming it's going to become in a full effect in April, starting really July 1. The way I look at it, a collective is still necessary. There's some things that it can do that the university won't be able to do. And I see us in the near future, in a year or two, maybe 3, still working hand in glove with the university to get our student athletes, in situations that they deserve, and to make UNM a desirable landing spot for the top student athletes in the country. Not only in men's basketball, but we're seeing a real movement now in football. Women's basketball can be supported, but it's really up to the public.
Yeah. Man, I want to say thank you so much for coming on last minute. I had to ask you because if it wasn't for you, Dent wouldn't be here still. And at the same time, the things that you're doing for Lobo Athletics is amazing. Hey, you've always been my guy. And if there's anything I can ever do for you, always please let me know, man. I don't want to keep you that long. It's almost midnight.
Kenny, thanks for that. 72-3. You're my guy. I heard a call before. You guys were going about Bulldog City and all that. And I've got to mention my chief of staff, Nancy Marquez, class of 1990, I believe. Okay. Somewhere in there, Albuquerque High. So, it's everywhere. But this whole thing, and again, Rudy Chavez said it, that gym, that pit is a really special place. It's the front porch for the university. I think it might be the front porch for the state of New Mexico. So it's up to all of us. No one else is going to do it. It's up to us individually to keep the ball rolling, to make this thing continuously good and strong, and improvement. We can still improve. Let's go 18-2 next year in the conference.
Yes, sir. Hey, we might as well go back-to-back conference champs. That's what I want.
Well, other thing is I can't wait to see everybody. We're going to have a huge, huge deal out there in Las Vegas. I mean, Pitt West is going to be it'll be an understatement. We're going to dominate that old gym there, and it's going to be great.
Thanks,
so I'm
bud.
looking forward to seeing everybody out there.
Thanks, my guy. Thanks for calling in, man. I appreciate you.
All right, guys.
Have a good one.
Keep it going, guys. Thanks.
Kurt Roth, 505 Sports Ventures, 505sports.org. If you want to look into it. 505sports.org, and keep Lobo Nation rocking, and keep the Mountain West Championships coming. That's the way it's going right now.
Once again, he did say $5, $10, whatever you can contribute.
Everything
everything
helps.
Counts. Everything matters right now.